Good day everyone and welcome to today's section. In today's section we want to create emulator, Android emulator for testing of apps. Why we need the emulator is because most of us might not have the Android phone to be able to test or most of us might be making use of iPhones and other devices and may not have a physical Android phone for them to test their application. So the our end product here should be a running Android emulator. So these are list of things we will need to list of commands and things we will need to do for us to be able to achieve our today's objective. So the first thing is to go to this URL developer.androidstudio.com, which is located here. Now scroll down until you get to the command line tools only section of it. Okay, this is it. So if you are making use of, if you have a Windows operating system, please download this zip file. For Mac users, the second one, and for Linux, the third one. I've already downloaded this, so I'm going to go ahead and show you where it is under my download. This is it here, downloaded today in the morning, and I've also extracted it here. So this is the folder where it is. This is it here, command line tools. All right, so the first thing we need to do is we want to move this folder under download into our system so our system can be able to see it and make use of it. Now, inside this, these are the 4 files which we'll be needing for this whole thing to work. And for us to continue, go to your C drive, then go to users, then your username, go to it and go to app data folder. Now most of us might not have this app data folder visible because by default the property is set to hidden. So if you can't see your app data here, what you do is to click on view and make sure that this hidden item is checked. This is for Windows 10 users. If you are a Windows 8 or 7 user, just type hidden folders. It won't show here because mine is Windows 10 apparently. So once you type hidden folders, you see hidden folders, and you click on it and follow the prompt to get it up. Or you can check on how to show hidden folders on your system. Then you type in the version of operating system you are making use of. So inside this app folder, open app folder, go to local, and then if you don't have Android folder on your under local folder, Android folder here, you will need to create it. You create the Android folder. Once you create the Android folder, it should be a first letter uppercase Android. Then come into this particular place. Let me delete all this. When you come into this particular place, create a folder called SDK. A folder called SDK. Now, when you create this folder SDK here, when at the point of creation, it will be empty. I don't want to delete all this because it took time to download those. So I'll leave it like this. So once you have this, what you will do is to create a folder called cmdline-tools. Let me write it here so you can see it here. So what you create is a folder cmdline, which means command line-tools here. This is it here. This is the spelling here. So once you've created this, go ahead inside the cmd line tools, create another folder called latest. So this is the next folder you will create here. You call it latest. Once you've created this folder called latest here, open it. Now you will have to go over to your download folder. This is my download here. Then this is the one I extracted. Inside, copy these 4 files here and copy them. Go over to this particular location you opened. See it, app data local, Android, this. This is the URL on my own. Your username is going to appear here, your own username. You can be Gideon, Israel, or whatever. So it will appear here. So paste the four files you copied. If you look at it, 1, 2, 3, and 4, this one is added automatically during runtime. So once you've done this, the next thing for us to do is to add this particular location to our environmental variable. What does environmental variable do? It allows your system to automatically find resources it needs for it to be able to execute a particular code. So for us to open our environmental variable, you can type env. It will bring up edit as the system variable. Click on it, then click on environmental variable. Now, under environmental variable, you have system variable here, and go to path. This is path here, and then double click it, or you can select it and click on edit, either way. So once you have this, now we are going to paste this path which we have here down into this place. So what I can do is to do this, click on this folder icon here and copy this URL up down to latest, or down to latest, or I can go back and right click, hold shift and right click. It will give me this option, copy as path. So if I copy this as path, I'll still have the same thing as when I copied it, but you will have to remove these quotation marks here. Remove this quotation mark. So this is what you will have. Now I can copy this or cut it and go back to this place. Now I can double click here for me to be able to add, or I can click on new and then I'll paste this location here. Once this location has been pasted, the next thing you will need to do is to click on OK and then OK, and you can click OK. So the next thing on our list, when we must have, you need to make sure you add bin to it, this binary folder. So we go back to our environment file and then environment and then path, and this guy I can click on edit and then add this binary, or I can simply do what? Redo the process I did again by, instead of shift and right click on this folder, I can then select this bin, shift and right click and copy it as path, and then over here I will have it like this. Same thing we'll have on this other side. So I can just copy this and paste it directly inside this place, but there's no need to do that because I already added this bin. So I can now close this, and the next thing to do right now is to open a command prompt for us to test whether our SDK manager is working. Now this SDK manager is located here inside this bin. This is the SDK manager which we'll be using subsequently. So click on your menu, type cmd, command prompt comes out, right click on command prompt and run it as administrator, and then open. So it's running as administrator right now, and then the next thing on our list here is to type in SDK manager. So I type SDK manager here, and it automatically fetches all the repository. It's completed successfully to tell me that this worked, and then it shows this. Now, some of the issues you might encounter when you run this command is that it might tell you that something like that this is not found, or SDK manager is not recognized as an internal external command. If this happens, you have to go back to your env and make sure you have the right path to where this SDK is located. This is where it is located. So on my own here, this is where it is located. and make sure you set it on your environmental variable. Now, another error you might get is that something like this. It says error, could not find load main class. In that case, that means you didn't copy these files 1, 2, 3, and 4. Most especially this source. This is what compiles this. So you must have these files 1, 2, 3, 4 inside your latest folder. So this is the one I downloaded from the internet. These are the 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. So you must have it under this latest folder in this location. So if you have such issue, just verify you've copied everything the way it should be. And the third one is that it might tell you that failed to download any source listing, warning, refetching remotely and all that. So in that case, you will have to check your internet connections. So with this now, I executed SDK Manager, which is next in our list here, and it's completed successfully. Now, the next thing now is to download our platform tools, which we will use to build our emulator. Now, this is the command I will run next. This SDK Manager platform tools, the platform I want to download is Android 29. The latest one should be 30 or 31 if I'm not mistaken, but I'm going to use 29. Then the system image I'm going to download is Android 29 Google APIs, and I'm going to download for both version 32 and 64. So I'll still paste this on the group, and you can copy this directly instead of typing it. The first time I did it, I made a mistake of adding space somewhere and it didn't complete successfully. So instead of typing, I'm going to copy this guy and run it automatically here. I've run it before, so it has downloaded all the things I need. But let me still run it again. Let me still run it again here. Edit and then paste. It's not working. Okay, let me copy it again. Copy and then try to paste it again. Okay, it worked. Sorry, I didn't copy it the first time. So once you copy and paste this, or you type in this and click on enter, it will try to download it automatically from the internet. It should download it from the internet. I've downloaded it before, that's why it's automatically completed 100. So it might take time for it to download on your own. So you have to just wait for it to complete. So the next thing we do now is to, once it completes, just like I told you, under this SDK tool here, the only thing you will be having prior to this time will be just this command line tools. Now, after you run this command, it will now add all the extra additional folders here, about 6 or 7 of them. These, and some other particular one. So the one we will be working with is this emulator folder. So just like we did before, we are going to add this emulator folder to our environmental variable. So you can hold shift and right click, copy as path, or you can open this emulator, do this and copy the path here directly. So I can do copy and I'll have the path. So let me check whether I have the path just as I should. Yes, I have the path. This is the path to it. So the next thing for me to do is to open my system property by typing env and then environmental variable, and then go to path, edit, double click here, or you can click on new and then paste that particular path you copied and click OK and OK and OK. Now, if you try to run the next command, which should be this, it will not work because we just added some new information and this guy doesn't know about it. So we are going to close this guy and reopen the command prompt again. So close it and type cmd, right click, run as administrator, and then open a fresh command prompt here. So the next thing is that we've done this and we've done this. We've added this to our environmental variable. The next thing we are going to do is to create an AVD. AVD stands for Android Virtual Device, and we are going to create it using Android Virtual Device Manager, which is, I guess it should be located in some, it should be part of our command line too, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, see it here. This is part of our command line too. So we are going to use this guy to create a virtual device, Android virtual device. So I'm going to copy this so I don't make mistake. Copy this and then paste it here. So what this means is Android Device Manager creates Android device, Android virtual device. The name is AVD version 10, and the system image is going to use is that system image that we downloaded before now. This is the system image we downloaded before now. This is it here. So it's going to use that image that we downloaded. So I click on enter. I've done this before. That's why it's telling me it already exists. So, but if I want to install it again or to recreate it again, I can rerun this particular thing, the command, and add force to it to force this new one to replace the old one I have there. If I run it again, why I'm running it again is for me to show you this process. It will ask you if you want to create custom hardware profile. You type Y and then click enter. So other things it will be asking you, just click enter, 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 enter. So it will use the default values to create. So this is going to happen like 131 times. These are the settings which you could have done using an IDE, but since we are using command prompt, we have to specify all this. So it's going to be around 131 prompt, 31, okay, 34. So after this, it has created our virtual device. Now we want to, the next thing for us to do is to check if our virtual device is available. So to do that, we run this command, AVD manager list AVD. What it simply means is for it to give me the list of Android virtual device which I have available on this system currently. So what I will do now is to run this guy, copy and paste it here, and then type this. So these are the available Android virtual device it has here. Remember, we created this before, AVD version 10, and this is where it is located. So it shows that this guy is available. So since it's available, we can now run it to test whether the Android virtual device will start up. Now, we are going to use Emulator to start up this virtual device which we've created. And this emulator is located here. It's part of the second thing that is installed here. It's located here. This is it here. So we are going to use it to run this guy. So we want to execute this command. This is the emulator and this is the virtual device, Android virtual device which we created. So I'm going to copy this and paste it here just to avoid making mistake with typing. As I said, I will still add this to the group so that you can just follow along. Instead of typing it, you just copy, paste, and run the command. So I put it here and I click on enter. So it's starting up the Android virtual device for me right now. Okay, here it is. Here it is. So you can resize this if you want. You can resize it. So it's going to start up shortly. Okay, it's up and it's running. So it's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. I'll just give it a moment. So it's up. You have your virtual device up and running. So let me go back to my OpenVS Code for me to be able to see if I have this guy available on my listing. if it's available for me to use it. This is it here, and the name of this device is called AVD version 10 running at 5554. So this guy is still coming up. It's still coming up. So it should show here. So I open this. It's still searching for device. That's why it's still showing no device here. So it will search for available device running on my system, and it will show you this guy that we created. Or let's just terminate this by pressing Ctrl C, or I press Ctrl C and it's going to close. Now, oh, I even closed it when it's opened. So I'm going to run the command again, which is this. Sorry about that. It showed currently these are the devices it shows by default. Okay, it's even if it's seeing it now, it's seeing it now, it's seeing it now. So I have it now here, but let me start it from here. I can start it from here by running this command again, or I can simply click on this particular guy. We have two devices connected. I have it mobile emulator available here. So I can start it from here automatically. I don't need to start going to this runtime environment, since it can see it, it can sense it. So you have it here. I can start it from here. Okay, it worked. It's now here. And just like you can see, it's showing you this particular device. So if I run this guy, automatically I'm going to get sorry, is my virtual device here. So it might take time for me to run it and display what I have here. I take time to compile, compile. Okay, let me do Flutter run. It might take time to compile. Okay, it's compiling. Let's hope it does that very fast, very fast, very fast, very fast. Okay, so other things you need to know is that you can go online and check. Since we already have this, you can go online and check on how to create virtual device using virtual Android emulator or a virtual Android device using this process that I showed you currently. I just want you to be able to see this interface, what it looks like and what it feels like, and so many other things. Okay, let's watch for it. So with this, we've completed our checklist, which is all this here. So you can Android device, if it's a physical device, it would have shown by now, but since it's a virtual device, it might take longer time to it's showing you using hardware rendering with built. If notice, consider software rendering enable. So it's telling me to use this code to make it faster. So I think it's going to take a lot of time, and I don't want this video to be longer than 60 megabytes. So basically, once it's done, it's going to show on this interface, and with this, you can be able to test any application or any tutorial or any training we are going to be doing. If you have any other question, you can reach out to me via the medium you have available. So thank you for your time.